I just figured out the entire plot for Fantastic Four. Slight spoiler warning, because a lot of this is substantiated by leaks which have been confirmed through many of the tests, screenings, and insiders. So if you don't want to know what happens in the movie, maybe don't watch it. But if you do, let me know after you watch the movie if I was right or wrong. Now let's get into it. The movie will start with the Ted Gilbert show that we have seen in the trailers. He will introduce the Fantastic Four, give us a short history of their origin story, and will show us in the last 4 years the villains they have fought. And this will be a montage where we will see some of the iconic villains that are being defeated by this Fantastic Four, including Paul Walter Hauser as Mole Man. But I think we can see some other minor villains. I'm not sure which ones, but I think it won't be just them defeating Mole Man. I think there will be at least 2 to 3 villains that they defeat. And in the middle of the show, when they're introduced, which we also have been seeing in the trailer, they will get some kind of emergency alert with their watches, which will tell them to go fight this problem. And that's, I think, going to be the opening big fight scene of the movie. After all this, they're going to have that family dinner scene in their house where Susan reveals that she is pregnant and that Franklin Richards is going to be born. And we are going to see some of what the Future Foundation does, and Reed Richards doing his show for the kids, like a Professor Proton show in The Big Bang Theory, if you watch that show. But basically, he's going to be a science personality that does this weekly show to get children interested in science. And a few months later, I think the first scene with Silver Surfer is going to happen. They're going to be around for family dinner, but the sky will blow up and Silver Surfer will arrive in Times Square, and you can see that a few months has passed because Susan has a more significant belly bump than in the other sections of the movie where they reveal she's pregnant. After this announcement, the world is going to freak out and they're going to ask the Fantastic Four what they're going to do. Reed Richards will start looking into the Silver Surfer signature and is going to find a planet that is very similar to our own called Proxima Delphi, and they're gonna go there to investigate what's going on because in his system it's been showing that it's missing and other planets that are similar to ours are also missing. That's why he thinks the Silver Surfer was heralding a power that is similar to this that devours worlds. So the Fantastic Four get into their spaceship and shoot out to find the Silver Surfer and whoever she is serving. They meet her out in space and she takes them to the ship of Galactus, the Ta-2. And we've also seen this part in the trailers, and Johnny tries to make conversation with the Silver Surfer. It's a running joke that they have gotten into the marketing lately as well, that Johnny kind of has a crush on the Silver Surfer because she is a sexy space alien lady, as he says in the trailers, and I think that's going to be the running gag, and Silver Surfer obviously has zero interest in Johnny Storm. So I think it's a pretty funny joke that's going on. And then they're going to meet Galactus for the first time, which we also have seen in the trailer. But what I like about the trailers is they're not showing the face of Galactus because I think it's going to be a very grand reveal in the movie itself. They're going to see Galactus. Galactus is going to be like, hey yo, what's up? I'm going to eat your planet. And they're going to be like, hey man, don't eat our planet. We kind of like living in it. And Galactus will be like, alright, great. Give me your baby and I'll leave you alone. And they're like, fuck no bro, we're out of here. And then Reed runs and the entire family runs. And this is also what we've seen in the trailers where Reed tells Ben Grimm to get them out of there. And they're going to try to run away from Galactus' ship. But the Silver Surfer is going to give chase to them, chasing them through space, looking for Franklin. And as that's going on, Susan Storm is going to go into labor, making everything much more difficult to deal with. And there are some crazy sequences apparently where Silver Surfer phases into the ship and tries to grab Franklin from Sue's belly, which sounds really crazy. But to get away from her, they go into a black hole and somehow make it back to Earth. As soon as they make it back to Earth, reporters hound them as to what happened and who Silver Surfer was and what she meant by the planet is doomed. They explain the whole Galactus situation. They say that the homie is going to come and eat us, but he asked for a barter. And we said no. The reporters are like, what did they say? They're like, they wanted our baby. And the reporters, being the assholes they are, go like, come on man, you should have taken that deal. It's just one baby for the rest of Earth's population. And Richard is like, no, It's our son. We're not gonna give our son to some weird cosmic god. We don't know what he's gonna do with him. And they're like, no, it's the trolley problem. We should sacrifice that one kid for, the 7 billion other people that live on that planet. And Reed is like, all right, bro, calm down. I got an idea and it's gonna work. And he says that he's going to teleport Earth away so that Galactus can't find us. Which is, I gotta say, from the smartest man alive, is a pretty dumb plan. But whatever, this is the weird devices we've been seeing in the trailer around the world, beaming up this weird energy, trying to get Earth away from Galactus. But before this plan can succeed, Galactus is gonna come to Earth, start walking around and looking for Franklin Richards himself, because Silver Surfer couldn't do the job, and he's like Thanos and saying like, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll get that tiny ass baby because that baby is powerful as fuck. If you read the comics, you know that Franklin Richards is basically a godlike character. The Fantastic Four are going to freak out because Galactus has arrived before they could teleport Earth away, so they're gonna try to fight Galactus, slow him down before he gets to the Baxter building and gets to their baby. But all of this effort that we see, this is the scene we have been seeing in all the trailers, where the Thing is doing his Marvel Rivals thing and charging into these columns, taking it down. So he's basically trying to crash a building into Galactus, so he slows down and doesn't get to Franklin. But obviously none of this is going to work, and Galactus is just going to basically swat them away and get to the Baxter building to try and get Franklin. Herbie is going to take Franklin out and get him to his family, and this is where the big final fight will be. And at the end of it, when they realize that they cannot defeat Galactus and he's just too powerful, Reed is going to come up with a plan to use the same teleporter to send Galactus somewhere else. And to get Galactus into this portal teleporter thing, Susan Storm will have to use all her powers and do this huge massive push with her force field, forcing Galactus into a different universe, and then promptly dying because she used too much of her power. Then Franklin Richards is gonna be a real G, come in clutch and revive his mother with his godlike universe creating powers, and that's how we end the movie, with a happy ending. But there's a post-credit scene. The post-credit scene is going to be Susan Storm reading a story to Franklin Richards, and when she gets up to get another book to read another story, she comes in to see Franklin isn't in his bed. Where is he? She looks into the room and finds this dude holding Franklin Richards. Don't see his face, but in one hand he has Franklin Richards, and in his other hand has a metal mask, and it's Dr. Doom. Before Susan can do anything, he uses his square teleportation device. You can see it in this Marvel Rivals clip if you didn't know what it looks like, and this in Multiverse of Madness, he uses one of those and gets away. And that's why the Fantastic Four is traveling to the 616 universe to find their son and get help from the Avengers. And that's how the start of Doomsday is going to go. I have also figured out the plot for that movie. Subscribe if you want to watch it, and it will be out in a week or so. Very excited for you guys to see that as well. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what I got right after the movie comes out, and I hope you had a great time.